subscribe. Darling Radio. Like and subscribe.
Department of Natural Resources says 7 people were injured when a boat exploded on the water. The aftermath caught on video. You can see the boat engulfed in flame, smoke rising into the air, all as crowds of people who were out on the lake celebrating Independence Day watched. 11 Alive's Cody Alcorn joining us live from Lake Lanier right now. And Cody, what do we know about the people who were on this boat?
Well, Angelina, we have just confirmed this was a speedboat. There were 5 victims taken to the hospital, the youngest 5 years old. Their injuries range from 2nd and 3rd degree burns. Now, you saw that video. Take another look. This was captured just moments after that explosion near Margaritaville around 7 o'clock tonight. Witnesses say the boat was being towed back to shore, but it's unclear why. As the boat was nearing the shore to be brought out of the water, that explosion happened. As you mentioned, thousands around this boat on the water and near Margaritaville. They watched on, many pulling their phones out to capture the fire.
So let's see what Bushmeat Barrister has to say. What stats do you have about us now, Bushmeat?
Not, I don't have stats today or tonight. But you said you're in Wyoming, right?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, last night or a couple nights ago, you talked about some Hispanic dude like pulled out a gun on you.
A little Hispanic.
Well, yeah, because again, I spent some time in Wyoming. It's a beautiful place. There aren't that many Hispanics there. There are a lot of Native Americans, so there's a strong possibility that boy was Native American. Though, just wanted to correct you right there. The next,
slow down. There's a bunch of Hispanics out here. These people ain't Native American. You got Mexicans. These are Hispanics out here working at these restaurants. I'm hearing them speak Spanish. There's a bunch of them out here. So I just wanted to correct that. But
okay. Well, I just wanted to get your perspective. You talked about how the white folks out there in Wyoming, and again, I spent some time there. Used to date a girl out there who she went to the University of Wyoming.
A girl? Yeah, right. But go ahead, Bushmeat. Go ahead.
But basically,
I see a lot of pride flags out around this area. There's a lot of pride flags. So yeah, I bet you were out here. But go ahead. Go ahead, Bushmeat. All right.
Well, basically you said that they treated you well. Do you think that, let's say, if a lot of FBAs started visiting there and traveling there, do you think the regulars, the regular folks out there in Wyoming, do you think that they would have treated you well, or do you think that they would have some sort of hostility towards FBAs? Because I'm not sure if you heard what happened at the Carnival Cruise Line. Basically, the Carnival Cruise, they basically had to change all their rules because of the huge influx of FBA, you know, folks going out there and just destroying the whole experience. You know, the brawls, the fights, their FBA culture, just the fighting, just the weed smoking, the fat black women, everything. So it just destroyed the whole experience of Carnival, just that experience of just going on a Carnival cruise. So do you think, let's say if a whole bunch of FBAs started visiting Wyoming, do you think the white folks would, start feeling more hostility towards black people?
Well, no, we're going to be good. And they come out here, that's going to be more money. Now, if you come out here, now you said you spent time out here. You probably did, but you were out here throwing that pussy in a circle, and they don't want too much of that. They don't want must and shit stain. But
No, Wyoming is one of the most conservative places. So no, I was just out there. Are you in Laramie or Cheyenne, or where are you?
What is this place? I was in Jackson.
Jackson, Wyoming. So you want to go ahead and visit Yellowstone? It's a wonderful experience. But I really do think, let's say, if a whole bunch of FBAs started visiting Wyoming, they would just ruin the experience for many people, many non-black people, because FBA culture is very toxic, if you know what I mean. They just usually what FBAs come into a certain area, they just ruin everything. They ruin South Beach. They ruin the whole Carnival Cruise Lines.
Right.
And let's say if they start visiting Wyoming, they would ruin that experience for many people too. So I would highly suggest that you don't tell black people to go ahead and visit Wyoming.
Down, Bushmeat, damn. Let's get Brother Marcel in here. Brother Marcel, hop on in.
Hey, Tariq, how are you?
I'm good. How you doing, Brother Marcel?
I'm doing good. This guy just comes up with the most outrageous lies. First of all, I have not seen that story anywhere about Carnival. What I have seen, being that you are from Nigeria, I believe that's where your heritage is from. The Nigerian passport is one of the lowest ranked passports in the world. Y'all are banned from like 30 damn countries. So how dare you come up here and talk about that we are banned from Carnival? The cruise line industry will almost go out of business if not for foundational Black Americans. I have been all over the world. That doesn't make me better than anyone. Let me say that. But I've been all over the world, and Black Americans are respected worldwide. Our culture is emulated worldwide. Matter of fact, we are so respected and so admired that tethers like you want to come to our homeland to live. And the reason I came up here is because I was listening to Tariq. You upload your spaces on YouTube, and I was listening to one of them, and I wanted to correct that fallacy he mentioned about our children being illiterate.
Right.
Our children are not illiterate. I'm a teacher. I've been teaching for 21 years. Trying to get a middle school or a high school student to take a test seriously is always going to be an uphill battle. But since you mentioned the test you referenced is NWEA MAT test, which means measures of academic progress. According to the national statistics, fourth and eighth grade, white children, 6 out of 10 white children are not reading on grade level. And they go to the best funded schools with all the resources, and they don't have the legacy of having their schools defunded and having teachers that have implicit bias against them. So, what is their excuse? The other thing I want to mention is that the most illiterate group in America are white non Hispanics, but you never ever mention that. The public school model is modeled after foundational Black Americans right here in South Carolina. When we started the Freedmen schools here in the Low Country, they were so efficient that they made it the model for the South Carolinas, the state of South Carolina, and then the model for the rest of America. The only mistake we have made was letting other people educate our children. So get your facts straight before you come up here and talk about us and stop spreading lies. And Tariq, I land there.
Thank you.
Marcel, quite frankly, you're delusional. Google is your friend. There are numerous articles out there that says new Carnival cruise rules under fire for allegedly targeting Black culture and music.
No,
They place these
no,
specific rules because
there's no article saying that. But go ahead, Bushmeat.
Just Google it. There are numerous articles out there explaining or
There's
basically.
no article saying what you just said the way you worded it. There's none. I already know you're a pathological liar. But anyway, Bushmeat, I don't want to hear no more Bushmeat lies. The brother Marcel already packed you out, which is good. Let me get Professor Allen in the building. Professor Allen in the building. Go ahead, Professor Allen.
Hey, what's going on, family? What's going on, Tariq? I just want to address a couple of things. While Bushmeat Barrister is focusing on Black Americans, he needs to focus on Nigeria. Thursday, 35 children were killed at a school when the stampede broke out.
Mm,
When, when have you heard of a stampede at a foundational Black American high school?
mm,
Ever. A stampede,
wow.
man. Well, well, anyway, last thing I'm going to say, and I'm out. I just want to let you know that there was an explosion. A boat exploded on Lake Lanier today.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? And 7 people, unfortunately, but it's interesting, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Brother. But thank you so much. Man, did y'all hear Lake Lanier? And I told people, listen, I've been telling people about the ancestral energy that's out here now. There's a whole ancestral energy out here that's different. It's retributive. It's a different vibe now. I've been telling people about Lake Lanier, and it's been turning up heavier. There was a 4th of July celebration. 4th of July, a very symbolic day. Some people went out there and on some boats, and the damn boat blew the hell up and caught on fire on Lake Lanier. Like a few months ago, was a white man out there on a boat, and there was an electric shock that just came out of nowhere. He got electrocuted. Last week, a Hispanic dude got pulled under the water out there at Lake Lanier. Family, listen, I keep saying it. There's a whole different ancestral energy right now. You got plantations catching on fire, stuff like that. these former slave plantations, all this stuff. Listen, as we know, Lake Lanier is on top of a town, a black town called Oscarville. And these beautiful foundational Black Americans, they were terrorized, ran off their land, killed, and they took over the land and then flooded the land with a man-made lake, which is now Lake Lanier. So that land is a spiritual burial ground, ladies and gentlemen. It's not a vacation spot, it's a spiritual burial ground. And I keep saying over and over, water, where there's that ancestral memory of foundational Black Americans who were enslaved, that shit ain't nothing to play with. Water contains memory. Water holds memory. Water holds spirits, man. Water molecules hold spirits. Spirits is that's energy. Spirits are energy. Water holds energy. Water holds memory. There's water memory. There's been experiments on water memory. You understand? Lake Lanier, um, they got the bones and the blood of the people who are under there and who didn't get justice. That's a sacred land of our ancestors. Yeah. That's a spiritual graveyard they're playing with. And that ancestral energy, it don't stay dormant forever. And it's the 4th of July, you know, a date that really celebrates freedom that excluded foundational Black Americans from that freedom. You celebrating freedom when you having people enslaved. It was a hypocrisy for the 4th of July. And a nation that was built on the blacks of enslaved foundational Black Americans. While the white society, they celebrate liberty from Britain and all of that, our ancestors were still subjugated in chains. Spiritually, that contradiction, that sends a cosmic imbalance into the universe, you see. So a debt has to be paid. And that imbalance, it intensifies when people think they're going to party and kick it on Black land that did not receive proper justice. You understand? That land keeps reminding you, you keep playing. I ain't playing. We're not playing down here. There are people who have said they got on Lake Lanier and they felt something dragging them in the water. Many people believe the Friday the 13th movie is based on that, the Camp Crystal Lake and shit, where you're dragging Jason and all that. A lot of people believe that story was loosely based on the Lake Lanier legend. You know? But water, family, that's a portal to the ancestors. You know, the souls of the people who were displaced, murdered, drowned, displaced, and aggrieved during the flooding of Oscarville. That energy lingers in that water. Yeah. And ancestral vengeance, that's not random. Family, it ain't that many coincidences in the world. There's a weird death or some type of injury on that damn lake every damn week. It's been like that shit since the 40 since the 50s. There's always some freak accidents happening over there. It's always something really weird. And it's been intensifying lately. That's not an accident. That's not a coincidence. The ancestors, they don't act without cause. Yeah. A lot of people kind of disregard the sacred energy of that space. So spiritually, that's suggesting that the ancestors are making it clear their pain is not forgotten and justice will not be mocked. Yeah. When I go back down to Georgia, I'm gonna pour some libations up there. I'm gonna take some a root work offering to the ancestors to show them respect. You know, because we got to understand that what happened to Oscarville, that was an act of ethnic cleansing. You know, that was some white supremacist violence that was very unjust for some real good people. There were some independently thriving people, and they sat there and did that wicked bullshit to those people. You understand? And we also got to understand another thing. When you have fire on water, that's some deep spiritual shit right there. Whenever there's a fire on some water, that's like spiritual purification. That equals justice. In ancient cosmology, fire on water, that's symbolic. That represents divine cleansing. A fire on Lake Lanier, that's not just a physical event. That reflects a spiritual reckoning, a ritual burning off the lies and the falsehoods surrounding the land. There's a lot of fire. We're seeing a lot of this ancestral fire lately. We're in that age right now. That's why these plantations just catch on fire out the blue. Like down there in Louisiana, there's another one out there in South Carolina just caught on damn fire. You know? Because see, the era of ancestral silence is over. See, we're not in the age no more where black pain is hidden. The veil is thin right now. The foundational Black Americans are waking up. We're delineating. And when we delineate, we are paying homage and giving strength to that ancestral energy. That's why it turns up even more intensely. That's why they don't want us conjuring up that energy. They want us to look over to Africa. See, the white supremacists, they understand spiritual energy. I want y'all to understand that. They understand the shit. They understand spiritual energy. So they know how to keep us focused on everything else except our land here and our ancestors here. Because they understand, they know where the power is. They know where you get your power from your direct ancestors. They know that. So playing this little 3-card Monte game with our history, with our lineage, with our legacy, having us look all over, thousands of miles away, thousands of years ago and all of that. No, that's a trick bag that they put us under. Now that we said, no, 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 we're not going to do that. We got people right here buried under our feet right now that we're going to pay homage to and give honor to. Now that has shaken the damn table up. There's people's chaos all around, and we're good. You notice that? Foundational Black Americans are good right now. We're good. Everybody else is up in arms and running all around, and we're good. Yeah. See, you can't try to build joy on top of injustice. Yeah, you can't do that. The ancestors, they ain't playing that kind of game. They want to balance the scales. So we got to really understand the spiritual essence of this stuff. Man, oh Lord, a Pia boys, we got a Pia, all these people in here. We got a lot of folks in here. Let's get King Solomon. Let's get King Solomon. And King Solomon, you in here, brother?
I don't know if I pronounced your name
Yeah,
correctly.
yes, sir.
Yes, thank you so much for the great work. And I salute all the brothers and sisters in the building, as you prefer to call it.
Now, where are you from, King Solomon?
I'm originally from the DRC, from the Congo and in Africa, but now I'm in Canada.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
What's on your mind?
Look, first and foremost, as I said, I want to thank you for bringing such issues. These are some of the issues that our Black community tend to neglect. But what I want to bring the message of love. I've heard, I think, Brother Marcel and the Nigerian brother who spoke earlier. That's not the kind of conversation we need to have, or the kind of response we need to respond to each other. That's very wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Black people, I bring you the message of love and what we call Pan-Africanism. Pan-Africanism, among its main principles, stipulates that people of African ancestry not only have common history, but also we share a common destiny. So whether you are Black American or people who have come from Africa, like myself, or people in Jamaica, in Black people in Brazil, in Colombia, in all those places, we are the same people. Okay, you might have been here much longer than maybe me, but we still come from the same place. So you don't need to have that kind of response and say, okay, this country is like bad, or these people are associated with criminals, with crime. It doesn't make any sense. We have the same challenges. Black people in America played a pivotal role in the independence of African
Right.
countries. People like Henry Sylvester, Marcus Garvey, I know he was from Jamaica, but people like W.E. Du Bois, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X were very paramount in the campaign for the independence of African countries. And they helped educate young Africans back in the day, like Kwame Nkrumah, Julius Nyerere, who were studying in Europe, to go back and start independent movement. So we shared a common history. And more recently, a lot of Black Americans have been going back home, trying to reconnect. I'm not against people who want to stay in America. I live here. I have so much connection to this country. I have even families in the US. So we are the same people. We live here. When you start insulting each other, you start talking down to each other. I think it gives much power to the white supremacists, as you are saying. So this is wrong, because the knee that killed George Floyd could kill me. Doesn't matter. Whether you are born here or your ancestors came here, hundreds of years ago, and maybe me who came here a few years ago. It doesn't matter. When it comes to systemic oppression or institutionalized racism, we all get affected equally. So we need to stop these issues of fighting each other. It doesn't make any sense. We may have differences, but let's not take them to a much extreme point. That's very much, Mr. Tariq. Thank you so much again for the wonderful
There
discussion.
you go, King Solomon. There, appreciate you. Thank you so much. Um, and my narrative is that, look, we don't have no problem with people from Africa or the Caribbean. We just want people to respect our ethnogenesis and respect our lineage the same way we respect theirs. Because when it comes to us, all of a sudden, people want to make us generic Africans who are basically undefined and boundaryless, and we're just not doing that. We have a very distinct lineage, legacy, history, culture, and we just want that to be respected and not exploited. That's it. Real, let's get real. The real somebody, real Bitcoin. Okay. Real Bitcoin ain't saying nothing. So let me get him out of here. There was another sister on here. Looked like she was from Africa somewhere. Wanted her on here. And she bounced. So I wanted to see what was going on with her. Let's get should we get Ashy Apia in here? We got Ashy Apia. All right, let's hear from Ashy Apia. He's like another bushmeat barrister type, but let's hear from Ashy Apia. What's up, Apia?
Tariq. How you doing,
I
brother?
am good. What's going on with you? How'd you celebrate your 4th of July holiday?
Oh, I mean, just normal, in the friend's house, doing what friends do. That's it. Uh, but I just want to ask a question. Maybe I didn't hear you correctly. Did I hear you talk about pouring libation, sir?
Mm-hmm. I said, yeah.
What?
Did I talk about libations? I talked about water and spiritual energy.
Yeah, I was surprised you talking about it because these are African beliefs, though.
Mm-hmm.
Especially in my culture. We believe in the power of the water. That's why we pour libation and a lot of things. Matter of fact, the what do you call it? The Akan god is called Asasefwa, who is a river.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm surprised that you sounded more African today than I thought.
Really?
What's going on?
Well, the thing is, some of those African deities like Ogun, because I was having a debate the other day with, somebody talking about how we shouldn't holler about Ogun because Ogun is an African deity. Here's the thing. Some of those old deities, they left y'all. They over here with us now. They ain't rocking with you. They left and they came over here with us. They chilling too. So yeah, we can shout out Ogun and some of those things because yeah, a lot of y'all have abandoned that stuff. Y'all abandoned a lot of those things. So that's why y'all over here too. The spiritual energy came over here. Ogun left, and then y'all left too. So everybody's over here with us. You understand?
You know, you know what? I'm just listen. Well, the ancestors know what they're doing. I'll leave it like that. Only the ancestors know what they're doing.
That
So
rotten bush meat and got the hell on. They over here now. Ogun is sitting up here chilling, doing a line dance with some boots on. That's what they're doing now. Those old African ancestors, they bounced. They had an ethnogenesis too. They ain't with y'all, all right? Because there's too much corruption over there. So yeah, it's a whole different vibe. So yeah, we're upholding some of those ancestral traditions more than anybody. The
listen,
spirit of fighting and yeah, we're upholding that. So the Ogun said, hell, I might as well go on there with them FBAs shit. Because
listen.
Apia and them left. So Ogun's like, I'm over here by my damn self. I might as well go on over there then. So that's what it is.
Hey, listen, I ain't going to take much of your time, man. I say, hey, shout out to you for that. You know, I respect that aspect of what you just talked about. You know what I mean? That's all I want to
There
say.
you go. Thank you.
Yeah.
Indeed. Hell yeah. Everything came over here with us. Yeah, we got it popping over here. So everybody left. Oya, Ogun, Shango, all of them. They over here now. All right. Yeah, well, they're like, hey, these motherfuckers over here, they over here dancing for white people and letting the Asians come over here. Damn that. Let me go over here where the riders are. They here chilling. Ogun is in Memphis right now eating a barbecue sandwich. That's what they doing. Oh man. Shout out to everybody in here. We got a lot of folks in here. Y'all give me a retweet. We got a lot of people in the building. Much respect to everybody. Much respect to everybody. Let's get Roger. Let's get Roger Ward in the building. Roger Ward, what's happening? Mr. Roger?
Tariq, what's going on, brother? How you
I'm good,
doing?
Raj. What's happening with you, brother?
I'm chilling, man. Happy belated birthday
Thank
to
you so
you.
much.
Yeah, I just wanted to piggyback off of that point about Lake Lanier, because see, I'm from Atlanta, so and if you like really from the city, then you know not to go up there, period.
Mm,
Just because, all the stories and stuff that's going on. And recently, with you talking about how FBAs are pretty much, for the most part, protected when we go to these places because we respect the land and we respect the lake in general to not even get in it.
hmm
But just growing up, I mean, because I'm 31 now, but like every summer, growing up, we always heard about things that were going on at the lake, or somebody passed away, or some freak accident always happens. So it's I mean, and I'm relatively young, but I'm pretty sure even going back before I got here, it was some more stories. What I'm saying, that was just going on, and all of these other crazy things that was going on up at Lake Lanier. So
Yeah.
just picking back off of that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, my man. I appreciate you. Thank you. Let me see who we got. Hold on. This one of these East Indian dudes. Arshad. I hope this is not one of these East Indian dudes who's trying to get some money. Arshad, are you in here? Waiting on Arshad. Arshad, are you in here? Unmute your microphone, Arshad. And hope you ain't coming in here to ask for some money. Because a lot of these East Indian dudes, they'll start calling up. Hello, my name is Starbash, and I want to make friends. My Cash App is Punjabi dollars at Cash App. Okay, no, dude. So
I can dig it. I'm on my way. Where you going, Rootwork Jones? There's some musty suckers on the streets. I got to go handle that. I got to split, baby. Can you dig it?
When you need to clean the stank off the streets, you don't call your mama. You call Rootwork Jones. Rootwork Jones is a stone cold dude that keeps the stanky suckers shaking in their boots.
Listen up, chumps. I'm looking for Dolomus. Can you dig it?
Rootwork Jones is getting down to the nitty-gritty, taking on the mustiest sucker in the city.
Dolomust is my name, and staying good and musty is my game. Where is Rootwork Jones?
This is a super soul brother getting rid of the stank. And you can for sure take that to the bank.
Take that, you musty jive turkeys.
When Rootwork Jones is not dealing with drama, he finds time to deal with foxy mamas.
Why don't you come on over here and give me some of that root work, sugar?
Rootwork Jones. He's bold. He's bad. And he's keeping the suckers musty mad. Rootwork Jones coming to a theater near you. Go to rootworkstyle.com.